OMG. Honey, I know we've heard unverified stories and rumors about Will Smith being a closeter harasser. Like after this video that once made rounds of Will grabbing another man's apparatus and trying to play with his nipples. But an actual lawsuit? Imagine coming back to your room and finding a welcome kit from a stranger named Stone F, consisting of HIV meds, beer, wipes, and a note with a heart on it saying, "Just us." Crazy, right? Well, that's the story of one Brian King Joseph, who is suing Will Smith and his company, Treyball Studios Management, for wrongfully terminating him and SA after an incident in Las Vegas on Will's Based on a True Story 2025 tour. First of all, how am I just finding out that Will Smith was on a tour? Also, not how I thought we would be kicking off the year. But Happy New Year, I guess. Reportedly, it's not started well for Jada, and she's allegedly already going nuts over the lawsuit. But let's just get right into it. So, the lawsuit that was filed by Brian alleges that Will Smith had been priming him for exploitation since meeting in November 2024, given they began spending additional time alone in the months before the tour. Joseph claimed Will Smith at one point commented, "You and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else." And based on what he said, it was not an isolated comment. There were others. He also talked about an incident in which he alleged tour management suspiciously lost his bag, which included his room key, and said that the sequence of events and circumstances of the hotel intrusion all point to a pattern of PRED behavior rather than an isolated incident. Brian also claimed that he returned to his hotel room to find someone had entered and left an intimate message, wipes, a beer bottle, HIV medication with another person's name on it, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to another person. Apparently, there was also a note that read, "Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30. Just us. Stone F." Basically, he interpreted that as a warning that an unknown individual would soon return to his room to engage in intimate acts with him. He also said he reported the situation to hotel security as well as tour management, who accused him of lying and blamed him for the incident. And then he said he was fired days later, though management told him the tour was moving in a different direction. However, another violinist was quickly hired in his place, which he claimed was proof he was not fired for pretextual reasons. So, he is suing for retaliation, wrongful termination, intimidation, and SA, and is seeking compensation for personal and financial damages. His lawsuit actually claims that he made significant financial investments in preparation for the tour, which ran from July to early September. And as a result of the incident and firing, he now suffers from major physiological damage and PTSD. Okay, I know that this lawsuit has people confused because as much as Brian said that Will made some suggestive comments, he doesn't say that Will was the one who left the meds and the note. But why put this together in the lawsuit? Is he trying to say that Will Smith has HIV medications under a different name? Is he indirectly suggesting that Will was the one who wanted to SA him? Baby, I don't know, but what I can tell you is that this lawsuit has dug up all sorts of skeletons about Will to establish a pattern. For instance, remember when Trisha Paytas made some pretty serious allegations when she accused Will Smith of sleeping with one of their male dancers? What happened was that Trisha was defending Shane Dawson against cancellation, and she had some choice words for Jada, who criticized Shane for disrespecting Willow Smith. Trisha called Jada out for her public criticisms of Shane, saying she should look at her own husband instead, who was allegedly hooking up with male dancers.
How about worry about your cheating husband my male dancers, when they didn't want to?
And then there was Orlando Brown, who also made very interesting comments about Will Smith.
Don't you ever think that shit is cool. That was the first setup, bro. You then turned me into a kid. You feel me? Took my house, took all my shit, start raping my family members and all kind of shit, bro. You a up person, my nigga. You a up person. Yes, Will Smith is Michael Jackson, my nigga. This shit got me up, bro.
In addition, there was also brother Bilal, who did an interview with Tasha K, where he dropped the bombshell that Will Smith once hooked up with Dwayne Martin, and he explained what he saw in detail and got very graphic with it. I mean, we know that for a long time, Will and Dwayne's bromance was a hot topic because people always speculated that there was something going on there. And Will and Dwayne fueled the speculations themselves when they took one too many vacations together that included trips to Sin City, Las Vegas, Miami, and even a private cruise in Trinidad, while Tisha Campbell and Jada sat at home. Actually, Tisha Campbell also fueled the rumors in 2020 that Will Smith was having relations with her ex-husband, Dwayne Martin, when she published an Instagram post with an image that read, "The truth always comes out in the end, no matter how hard anyone tries to hide it." On its own, it looks like a pretty vague post, but she also wrote in the comments, "And you're right, they will lie till the end. The real kiki is people will stop believing them." According to what people said, she definitely put the word will in caps on purpose. Anywho, Bilal also said that Will and Jada's blood brother had been hooking up. And for context, Jada's brother was the one massaging Will in that infamous video where Will was like, "Only a man knows what a man needs."
Only a man knows what a man needs.
See, Bilal is actually the one who now has people thinking that maybe Will was the one who left the HIV medication in Brian's room. Because when he was exposing Will and Jada, he said that he had receipts of the men and women Jada has been sleeping with, and even said that he knows about their diseases. And by the way, he also filed a massive $3 million lawsuit against Jada Pinkett Smith, claiming she literally threatened to make him catch a bullet or go missing if he didn't stop talking about their personal business. Well, Jaguar Wright is also another person who has said a few times that young men have left Will and Jada's house screaming to get away from their mentorship.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship.
Now, when Jaguar was exposing Will Smith for hosting parties with young men, she also dropped the bomb on Dwayne Wade for also being a part of this club. Jaguar said that she spoke to a number of artists that got invited to a party at Dwayne Wade's house, and she said that they told her everything was cool up front, but when they went to the back, there was a bunch of old dudes taking advantage of younger guys at the party.
Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
And that was they kid's friend.
She actually recently also doubled down on her claims and said that Will Smith was aware that young men in his care, including Bryshire Gray, August Alsina, and his own son Jaden Smith, were allegedly being taken to Diddy to be turned out. There's also Alexis Arquette, who claimed that Will and Jada are gay and that Will paid off his first wife after she walked in on him with another man. She actually wrote in a now deleted Facebook post, "When Jada comes out as gay and her beard husband admits his first marriage ended when she walked in on him servicing his sugar daddy Benny Medina, then I will listen to them." And now this? A whole lawsuit with Will right in the middle of it? Honestly, looking at it from the outside, the whole situation is a total PR nightmare for Team Smith. Well, they've already denied the allegations, saying, "Mr. Joseph's allegations concerning my client are false, baseless, and reckless. They are categorically denied, and we will use all legal means available to address these claims and to ensure that the truth is brought to light." But regardless, when you start hearing about HIV meds and secret notes in a hotel room, it stops being a standard contract dispute and starts looking like a major scandal that could stick. Well, some people are saying that the lack of a direct link between the intruder and Will Smith himself makes the priming narrative feel like a reach for a massive settlement. Who knows? Maybe Brian filed the lawsuit for people who believe Will is gay, and he hoped Will would settle and pay him off to avoid bad publicity. On the other hand, other people are saying that the details are too bizarre to be made up, and that the swift firing looks suspicious. For me, one of the biggest mysteries in the entire lawsuit is the identity of Stone F., the person who allegedly signed the note left in Brian King Joseph's hotel room. According to the court documents, Joseph doesn't explicitly name Will Smith as the one who physically entered the room or wrote the note. Instead, the lawsuit frames the incident as part of a pattern of behavior that Joseph attributes to Will Smith's management and influence. He does say that Will made some suggestive comments, but the name Stone F doesn't match any of Will Smith's known aliases. I'ma need the online detectives to hope on this one and figure out whether Stone F could be Will Smith. But meanwhile, let me know what you think of this lawsuit in the comments section below.